Hello everybody, my name is Katie and I am a full-time furniture flipper who is currently completely out of furniture to flip. My workshop is empty, so in this video we are thrifting for some secondhand furniture pieces that I can refinish, refurbish, recycle, make over into something beautiful again. I work on a lot of furniture pieces that I find in the trash or that I pick up from Facebook Marketplace for free, the stuff that people are just trying to get rid of. But the secondhand furniture market on there has been pretty terrible lately. So I'm hoping that my local thrift stores have some pieces that are interesting and at a good price point that I can make use of. And I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to bring you along so that we can talk about what I look for in potential furniture pieces, some design ideas, and resale prices as well. I have safely arrived at my first destination, which is the Salvation Army thrift store. This is actually the spot where I found the $30 Tiger Oak antique table that I restored on the channel a few weeks ago. I find they're pretty hit and miss in here furniture-wise, but here we go. I always have to wander through the home decor section in here before I head to the back where they keep the furniture. There are always such incredible treasures in these aisles, and I often have to restrain myself from buying stuff that I don't need. I also spotted this mirror on my way. It's got a great shape and it's only $11.99, but it's a really flimsy plastic and still not what I'm here for, so I'm just gonna leave that right there. This plant stand would be amazing for our back deck in the summer, but I can never keep anything alive out there. And right next to that is a vintage magazine side table. It's $9.99, and I did quite a few of these back at the very beginning of my flipping journey. They're great little pieces to pick up and experiment on, just to get a feel for what kinds of paint you like, practice brushing or rolling. They're definitely not money makers though. Into the main furniture section, what I'm drawn to are these two little guys. I tend to avoid single end tables because they're worth way more as a matched set, but this is a beautiful mid-century piece. It's got really simple, clean lines, and I think it's a walnut veneer. If you follow the direction of the wood grain across the top and then down over the edge, you can see that it changes directions. So that's a telltale sign that this is veneer. It's $19.99. It's got a little bit of a wobble to it, and it could use to have the finish scraped down and redone, but this isn't one that I would paint. Next to it is this adorable Duncan Fife style drop leaf coffee table. They've got it priced at $24.99, which isn't awful, but it does need a ton of restoration work on it. And I think the resale market on something like this would be pretty limited. The stretcher bar is falling out and it looks like someone has already tried to fix it. It's missing a couple of its brass feet, and the veneer in the center section needs a ton of love. Again, this isn't a piece that I think paint would be an appropriate fix for, and the hours of work needed to restore it just don't make it a good flipping piece. This dresser is really cool. It looks a little bit scary when you first see it. And when I see the $54.99 price tag on it, I'm not really impressed, but the drawers are super unique. I don't think I've ever seen a piece with these curved bottoms before, but it's been stained in kind of a weird cranberry color, and it's got a lot of veneer damage. I think the price is a little high for me today. It's not awful, but it's not great either. I do see potential with a freshly painted finish on the outside, and I would probably resale a piece like this in the $300 to $400 range. This guy is a brilliant glossy blue, and I think $49.99 on here is about what it was worth brand new. All of the drawers are broken. It's got really cheap joinery, and it looks like the body is probably particle board. These chairs are really neat to look at, but I don't know what I would do with just the two of them. Not a good flipping project. I guess there are no treasures in here for me today. I'm going to head across town now and check out one more Salvation Army location. They don't get a ton of furniture over there, but I figure since I'm out and about, I may as well check. Nothing in here, but there's another thrift shop across the parking lot. They don't really get a lot of furniture either, and as I suspected, that was another disappointment. All right, I just pulled up to the Habitat for Humanity Restore. This is pretty much a sure bet for me. Sometimes the prices in here are unreasonably high, but a lot of the times there are incredible deals to be had, and I happen to have some 25% off coupons that they gave me when I donated my last batch of furniture flips here, so I've got high hopes. Always be on the lookout for sales. Most thrift stores will use some sort of color coding tag system so they can tell when stuff has been around for a while and it's time to clear it out. The first thing at the very front of the furniture is this eye-catching Art Deco vanity. It looks like they originally tried for $150 on this thing, but it is wrecked. So I'm not shocked to see the $50 get me out of here tag on it. Honestly, in this condition, $50 is probably still too high, but these make really good nightstands if you remove the center section, and I'm gonna think about this one while I wander through the rest of the store. Next, I spotted this buried dining set. At first glance, I thought it might be maple or maybe even oak, but getting a little bit closer, I can see that it's actually elm. A solid elm dining set. The tabletop is pretty rough and it's obviously been refinished before, but they've got this on clearance for $125. And I think that's totally an all right deal for a huge set like this. I think with a warmer brown stain and some new upholstery fabric on the chairs, this set could sell for a few $1,000s. Another solid wood set. This is all maple and it's actually in really incredible condition. They're asking $125 for this set too, but it's only got 3 of the chairs and I don't really love the style of them. I think this might be a good flip if you could get a better deal for just the table. It doesn't need any refinishing work at all. It's really immaculate. And then I would pair it with some more modern chairs. One more dining set in the lineup here. The price on this is $120 for the table with a leaf and 4 chairs. But when I look at the edge of the leaf, I can see that it's just white painted MDF. It could make a good DIY project if you wanted to clean it up and repaint everything, but since it's MDF, it will always be prone to getting really bad moisture damage and bubbling up. They've got a whole row of massive filing cabinets here. I saw someone on Instagram this past summer use big cabinets like these as planters, and I think that is just ingenious. It's a great repurpose for them. I'm pretty sure she just pulled out all of the drawers, painted them in a matte black, and then filled them up with her plants. This chest is just $25, but it's not the kind of furniture that I'd ever pay for. It does have some good makeover potential, but this one is also MDF construction that's in pretty bad shape. It's got some broken pieces on the doors and the drawers, and the finish is that kind of wood-looking paper stuff. If I did do this one, I think I would paint it black and then do some kind of modern textured something in these panels on the doors. These china cabinets have all been here for a few weeks now. They do have them all on clearance, but probably not cheap enough for anyone to want to take on something huge like this. Not a lot of people have these big clunky guys in their homes anymore just because they take up so much space and they really feel heavy. If I were to grab any of these, I would definitely separate the top and bottom units and create 2 separate pieces of furniture. The bases are easy to update and market as buffets, and the tops can make some really great bookcases or display cabinets all on their own with the addition of some new legs on the bottom. $125 still seems high, but you could probably be reselling the made over bottom buffets for $500 or $600, and the repurposed top section for $250 to $300. Here's a little maple dresser for $80. It's got really nice clean lines, which makes it super versatile style-wise, and it looks like it's all solid wood. The drawers don't have the dovetail joinery that's ideal when you're looking at furniture, but I'm okay with that since they're all really clean and working well. It does come with a bonus mirror too. I'd probably resell this made over in the $400 range. This is not my style at all, but we do need to take a moment to appreciate this massive red leather sofa as we continue through the store. The Restore is also a great place to pick up tools if you're just starting out. They always have a ton of hand tools, but I do see some really great deals on older power tools in here all the time too. This dresser and nightstand looked great until I walked up close to it. It's particle board and MDF, and it's got a terrible bumpy finish on it. And a lot of the porous material is exposed and puffing up from water damage. It's something that I might work on if it was free in the trash, but it's not something I'd pay for. And here's the matching dresser to that MDF chest that we found earlier. It's in about the same condition. And again, it's one of those pieces that I'd put the effort into saving if I found it for free, but I'm not giving money for it. This looks like the same as that glossy blue guy that we saw at the Salvation Army. Again, not something I would want to work on, but I totally love all the different hardware options it's got going on. This huge coffee table is $80. It looks like it's solid wood, but I happen to know from experience that these are a very thin veneer over particle board. It would be a great piece to refresh with paint, but it would be a pretty tough one to restain in any sort of finish. And I've always found coffee tables to be really hard to sell. A matching set of pine bedside tables. These are newer, so they have a more modern drawer construction, and it looks like they're all in really good condition. Matching nightstands are always in high demand, and these are a really good height for a taller bed. They could get stripped and stained in a lighter wood finish or painted too. They're priced at $50 each, but refinished, you could sell these easily for $400. I ended up paying for that totally destroyed Art Deco vanity and the plain solid maple dresser. I'm going to come back though with Doug tomorrow to pick them up because I want to leave some room in the back of the van in case I find something else. I just pulled into the Value Village parking lot and I'm crossing my fingers and my toes. Sometimes this store has just incredible stuff and sometimes they have nothing at all. A quick stroll by the art on my way to the back corner, and it looks like today is a nothing at all kind of day for the VV. Some one-off chairs and a kid's table, but nothing for me. Oh well. I'm gonna make one more stop before I go home and head over to Enviro Plus. They're a great nonprofit that we have here in Moncton, and they work with marginalized people in our community to gain employability skills. And they just so happen to have a massive secondhand furniture warehouse. Their pricing does always tend to be on the very high end of things, but I know that I'm supporting an important local charity and getting a quality piece when I shop with them. They get some really sharp upholstered pieces in here, but these Norman Rockwell prints caught my attention. I see these all the time and I just love looking at them. I should probably start picking them up and get a little collection going. I love the top drawer on this waterfall piece, but I don't think I like it enough to pay $100 for it. The drawers don't open particularly easy either, so I'll leave this one alone. Another smaller Art Deco piece here for $75, but it needs a complete strip job too. and it's got a lot of veneer damage. It's a gorgeous piece that could definitely be restored, but it's just not making me excited. These wall units are neat. They're all particle board with a laminate veneer, but definitely paintable. And I think they'd be great in an office or even in a dining room. Another solid maple buffet. This is in immaculate condition and priced appropriately. This thing doesn't need any refurbishing at all, other than maybe some newer knobs. I've been watching this piece beside it for a few weeks now, hoping it comes down in price because I am dying to get my hands on it. It's a mid-century modern sideboard with a beautiful walnut veneer. Since the original finish is flaking off like crazy, I would strip it back and restain it in a slightly warmer kind of nutmeg stain, or maybe just reseal the natural walnut as it is. Always look for maker's marks on the top drawer or the back of furniture pieces and Google them to see what you can find out. This is a piece that would fetch a pretty penny in the right market. This hardware caught my eye. It is laminate over a wood frame with wood drawers. I work on this type of dresser a lot on the channel. They're great pieces to make over with paint since they've got pretty solid construction, but they're mass produced and not really anything precious or historical that needs to be preserved. I think this would be great painted in a light color and raised up off the floor on some funky legs. This guy also caught my attention. I have never seen a finish like this on an older piece. It's totally textured to feel and obviously look like wood, but it's laminate. Kind of like the newer textured vinyl flooring that you can get. I absolutely hate this cheesy plastic trim around the top and down the sides though. Without that, I'd leave this as it is, but with it, I think I'd have to paint. It does have some pretty significant damage across the top though, so at $125, that's too much for this piece. My parents have the bedroom set that matches this bookcase, so I know it quite well. It's veneer over particle board again, but I think you could break this up just like the china cabinets and make the bottom into either a small dresser or an oversized nightstand, and then put a base and some legs onto the shelves to make it its own piece of furniture. Here's another Art Deco piece. It either needs a really good paint job or a full strip and restain. It's exhibiting one of my biggest furniture icks though. Don't do this. Please, please, please do not use two knobs in the place of a properly sized handle. It never looks good. Just find a handle that fits. I know this dresser well because I've already flipped one. Well, except for the base. This is the same dresser that I picked up for $5 in the summer and painted it a super dark green with some gold hardware. This one has its handles swapped out too. Ugh, don't do that. This little washstand is adorable, or at least it could be adorable. Someone has obviously used it as a stool, and it's got a really thick layer of stain and poly in one that wasn't the best job. Not a money maker here, but definitely has the potential for a heartwarming restoration story. The last thing on my way out of EnviroPlus is this Depression era buffet. 5 years ago, us furniture painters in our farmhouse phase were all about these things, but they've sort of fallen off again. It's a stunning piece of furniture and these poles are to die for, but sadly, I just don't have any inspiration for this one. Looks like I'm heading home with 2 pieces of furniture that I can start planning makeovers for. Not a huge haul, but that's definitely just the nature of being in the secondhand furniture game. The market definitely ebbs and flows. Thank you so much for coming along on this little trip with me. I'm going to pop a few older Thrift With Me videos of mine here if you want to check those out next, and I will catch you all next time. My Canadian is showing. Out and about. We're out and about on a thrifting trip, eh? Jesus Christ. Superstar.